Woo! Okay, we should be live now. Alright, guys. No one's here yet. But soon people will be, maybe, hopefully. I will do the typical stuff. Start my stream off by going to my stream on my phone, which I should do before I start the stream, but hey, no one's watching yet, so whatever. My videos. Alright. Where's the live stream notification? Doesn't look like it's started yet. Come on. My videos. I gotta wait a second after starting the stream so I can see the chat on my phone. Bum 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 bum. There we go. Hey, there's actually people here already. Nice. What's up, guys? Hey, Jamie and Mohammed. Good to see you guys. I hope you join, Jamie. That'd be dope. It's actually kind of cool that 4 people are already watching. Usually this takes a bit longer to get to that point. So, I will just keep blabbering until somebody joins the Zoom room for me to talk to. Okay? So let's talk about some updates. What's been going on? What have I been doing? What's been happening? Okay, so let's show what's been going on with Skillshare, because I have now been teaching on Skillshare for over 90 days, which means I have some more data. And I had 2 really good days. Like, minute-wise, people are actually starting to really consume the courses, which is cool. Because if you compare the royalties to my referrals, you can see that the vast majority of the money I get from Skillshare is from referrals. Hopefully, with time, this will change because the money from royalties is more reliable. Skillshare referrals mean that somebody joins and I get $10 from them once. Whereas when my courses are performing, the royalties grow in the beginning slower. But once you have momentum, if you're getting a couple $100 from royalties on Skillshare, that's not prone to fluctuating or changing suddenly, whereas this number is. For example, yeah, this looks great. I earned $1,000 in a month on Skillshare from referrals. However, that was all from one YouTube video. If I go into my channel videos, I can actually find the YouTube video, and I had to take the video down. So I'll talk a little bit about what that process was like and the emotions that I went through, because I was super proud of myself. I mean, like, okay, $110 tripled almost to $280 and then over tripled to $930. That's freaking awesome for the first 3 months. Like, definitely super promising. Even if it all stops right now, this is promising enough that it's like, okay, if I really apply myself, really take this seriously, I can make this work, right? And I know that now. I very much know that. But let's look at one of these videos, because basically I had made one YouTube video that was referring all of these people. All of these 93 referrals basically came from one single YouTube video. And I actually didn't know that at the time, because I had made like 10 or 11 different YouTube videos. So it was kind of tricky because I could see that the Skillshare referrals were coming in, but I didn't know exactly where these referrals were coming from, which made things quite tricky. I had to do a lot of guesswork. But then I had to take a video down, right? So if I search for a free Skillshare, we can find the first version. Here we go. There's 2 versions, right? One was published March 11th and one May 23rd. Okay, so this is the video that was referring tons of people and I had to take down. Okay, so let's talk a bit about why it was referring people and why I had to take it down. So in this video, I talk about how you can get a whole year of Skillshare membership for free. Again, Skillshare is a course marketplace where you pay one monthly fee, $15 per month, and you get every single course on the platform. So 26,000 different courses. That's a lot of information. And you can actually get it for free for a whole year if you publish a course that meets the requirements, okay? And so in this video, I talk about that process and how to get a year of Skillshare classes for free using this program that Skillshare offers called the Teach Challenge, okay? However, in this video, I made a couple mistakes. Two of the things that Skillshare pointed out to me is that I didn't talk about all of the technical requirements for getting this year of Skillshare. For example, you need to have a minimum of 30 minutes of content engaged, right? So this means that after you publish your course, other students need to watch at least 30 minutes of the course for you to be eligible for this free year. So that could mean that 10 different students each watch for 3 minutes. Completely feasible. It could also mean that only one student watches for 30 minutes. So if you have a 30-minute course, this means that all you need to be eligible is one person to finish your course, okay? So it really isn't that intense of a metric to pass. You don't need to be like super well performing to pass it, but it is a metric that exists and it matters. And in this original video, I didn't talk about it at all because I didn't actually know that it mattered, right? And then another thing is Skillshare felt that in this video, I was kind of encouraging people to just game the system and not produce quality courses. So I removed the video and I worked with Skillshare to produce this video. So this video is basically the same thing. You can see how to get Skillshare classes for free for a year. Same title, except it's 1 minute shorter. This is 13 minutes and 6 seconds. This is 14 minutes and 43 seconds, right? So after I did the revision, I submitted the video to Skillshare. I sent them an email with a link to the video before I published it, giving them the ability to watch it. And they actually approved it and gave me permission to publish this version of the video. And so I made sure to tag this properly. You can see that these green bubbles means that this video is actually ranking and showing up in search results, right? However, my referrals haven't come back. I still am only referring like one person every other day to Skillshare at the moment. Whereas at the peak of this video, it was 5 to 8 referrals per day. With 1 or 2 days, I got like 10 or 11 different referrals, right? So it was going really, really well. Like I want to be at a point where I'm earning like $100 a day through mostly passive things that I've done in the past. I would feel super satisfied if that's happening. And it was starting to happen with this YouTube video in particular. But then because I had to take it down, it lost traction and everything. And my recent video, this one, hasn't gained the traction that this video had. So let's talk a little bit about why that is, because I actually made some mistakes with this video. First off, this video, the one I had to take down, didn't start really getting traction until after a month or so. So if we look at the history since the video was published, we can see that, okay, on day 13, it had 595 organic views. On day 26, it had 1,200. So by day 30, the first month, it had about 1,500 views. And that's when things started to really pick up and it started to refer more people. You can also see that the audience retention for this was pretty long. It was 2 minutes. And I say pretty long because compared to this video, that's much better. And I'll get into why the analytics are better for the old video, okay? Keep in mind, I have this video up. It's referring people. At first, I don't know that it's this specific video that's referring people. It's not until I have to take this video down and then all the referrals disappear that I understand, oh, this was the video that was bringing me all of these referrals. Despite the fact that I had 12 different videos about Skillshare, all of the referrals were basically coming from one specific video, okay? And it's a super interesting case study because in this case, it's not about me having an audience. The people referring are people who are interested in Skillshare and find this video on YouTube. Technically, anybody could do this, and as long as they were convincing enough in the video and had the right energy, it would work out, right? Hey, somebody join. Hey, Jamie. I don't see you, but I hear you. I know we always have issues with the audio here, so I'll just keep going until I hear you say something. So what I want to show you guys here is, hey, I can see you. Can't hear you though. What I want to show you guys is the audience retention here. Because before I started the new video, the remake, I'd started to be like, okay, if I could make a YouTube video that refers people and then advertise this video through Google and pay for traffic to go to this video, theoretically, that could be its own business model. Literally just a video that refers people, I pay to get the traffic, and then some of those people end up going to Skillshare using the referral link, and I get $10 per person who signs up for the free trial, right? So when I launched the new video, I immediately started pushing it using Google Ads. And that was actually a mistake. Because you can see here that the audience retention for the video is only 28 seconds, whereas the audience retention for the original video is 2 minutes and 18 seconds. So that's over quadruple the amount of view duration. And view duration is really important. It's something that YouTube pays a lot of attention to. So what this taught me is that you can pay to have people view your videos. But in general, these people are not going to be as interested in your content as people who are organically using YouTube. So it's kind of ironic because the free traffic that I got for this video converted way better than the paid traffic that I got for this video. If we compare the view counts for these videos, you can see that this video, by the time I took it down, had 3.5 thousand views. This video has gotten 2.2 thousand views. However, it's only been live for 1 week, okay? This video was live for 52 days. So 7 days versus 50 days. This video is still very earlier on in its growth, and that's why I'm not too concerned about the fact that I screwed up its analytics by using Google Ads in the beginning, because I know that it's only a couple days. I'll be able to get this audience retention to grow a lot just by stopping the Google Ads, and basically my takeaway is that it is true that there is opportunity to create YouTube videos that refer people to Skillshare and earn money through the Skillshare referral system. However, I think that the strategy for a paid video has to be different than the strategy for an organic video like this one. In this case study, with this video in particular, I learned that organically, this video referred very effectively. With these 3.5 thousand views, we were able to get over 100 Skillshare referrals, right? So that's earning $1,000 off of less than 4,000 views, which is really, really high if you look at the amount of money you're earning per view, okay? Hey, Jamie, I just realized you're muted. Maybe that's why I can't hear you. Wait, I think I can unmute you. How do I unmute you? Nope, still can't hear you. Oh, yeah, you're unmuted, but I still can't hear you. We always have this problem with Zoom. Except that, well, actually, no, that's not true. There were a couple times you were able to join just fine. Yeah, so for reference, if you're ever muted, like, I could mute you, but you can always unmute yourself. But it doesn't look like you're muted right now. I just can't hear you. So I'm just gonna go back to talking about Skillshare. 1 second. Okay, so what was I trying to teach? Yeah, so this is super interesting because the rate per view is super high, like way higher than you're ever going to get with AdSense, okay? For reference, like my channel has millions of views. It has like 1.2 million views. And in my life, I've earned like $10,000 from AdSense, something like that. Yeah, you can unmute yourself in Zoom. I can see you're not muted in Zoom anymore. It just, for some reason, can't see your audio or your microphone. Oh, wait a second. No, I think it's me. Yeah, it's totally me.
Yeah, hello.
I can hear you now, but I can also hear myself, which means everyone else can hear myself too.
Oh, wait a second.
Oh, Luke. Okay, 1 second. Maybe that'll work. Okay. Can we communicate now?
Hello.
Yeah, I hear you. Nice, I hear you, and there's no loop. Yeah, we're good now.
Do Jan hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I've only got yes or no nods to go with. Unless you know. But that's a bit of sign language there.
Well, it's confusing now because there's two of you. There's a frozen muted version of you, and then there's the talking version of you as well.
I don't know why I can't hear you because then it's not live. It's just a delay.
So you can't hear me now. Let's see. Can the stream hear me? Yeah, the stream can hear me. Okay. The stream can hear me. Zoom can hear me, but you can't hear me. Gotcha. That explains the confusion because you're not hearing what I'm saying.
Okay. The stream can hear me. Zoom can hear me. That explains the confusion because you're not hearing me. Hello. Hello, can you say something?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you too. Great.
Okay, there we go.
All sorted. It was my side for sure. The browser wouldn't give me the option to change speakers, and then the application did, but I wasn't aware of it yet. So, how's it going?
Awesome.
Talking about your Skillshare course.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about my what I've been doing with YouTube and Skillshare.
Right. Getting that, I guess. You no longer want to be reliant on referrals. You want to move on to the course itself being the passive income.
Well, yeah, it's not that I don't want to rely on referrals, because referrals is really good money. But I definitely was aware in the beginning. I was like, man, all I'm doing is referring people to Skillshare, but I want to teach on Skillshare, But now the students are actually growing. There's more participation in the courses. So it looks like it just takes time to grow that interest and establish yourself as a Skillshare teacher.
Yeah, I mean, you could start going to talks, like telling people why you are the best Skillshare course provider. Then more so, you're just marketing out for Skillshare than yourself.
Yeah, those are fun though, I really like it. That's starting to happen where I'm becoming associated with Skillshare, and that's kind of my goal. Is to if people think of my YouTube channel, they also think of Skillshare. I want to be somebody
I'm so pleased that you haven't had a single dropshipping comment. I'm scared to mention it. And then
no way! In the live chat?
Hold on, let me confirm.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, legit.
Mobo Mania says hello from UK. I don't know if they're still here because I was chatting a while about videos.
I'm also from the UK. I'm Irish though, so UK, but that's necessarily my people's choice. Oh, jeez. So Jack, he asked how you doing. We've been talking about how you've been feeling about YouTube and Skillshare and stuff. Fair enough. What are your plans now to get more referrals or to build up your course?
So the main thing was to get that free video showing how to get a year of Skillshare recreated, because it's going to take a while for it to grow. That's what I'm essentially learning, is that when I first made the video showing how to get a free year of Skillshare, it took a couple weeks for it to really start building momentum and start referring people. And I didn't know that it was from that video, right? Because I was just making videos, and it happened to be one of the ones that was referring a lot of people. So now I recreated the video with Skillshare's permission, changed the wordage, but I didn't have to change any of the mechanics that was leading to people referring. So it should do just as well as the original video did. One thing I did is I made a mistake, and I advertised the video, which screwed up its analytics. For example, the view duration for 2,000 views that were paid was 23 seconds, whereas the view duration for 3,500 views that were organic was 2 minutes and 7 seconds. So it performed, on average, people who didn't pay were 4 times as interested as people who I paid to watch. So this leads me to believe that if I want to refer people to Skillshare, it's going to be more effective to have an unlisted private video that just functions as an ad. It's not an organic searchable video in YouTube. And then to also have organic searchable videos. I think that if you're trying to use paid content to refer people to Skillshare, you have to use a different strategy than if you are using a YouTube video, an organic growth of that YouTube video to refer people.
Whenever you were advertising it, what target marketing approaches were you able to utilize?
So you can target by age, parental status, demographic, like state or country, spoken language. Those are the main ones. You can do keyword targeting, but I don't actually know how to do that. I haven't learned how to. I still have to study Google AdSense more.
Well, perhaps that is the concern. Maybe if the target marketing was a better applied and you did a bit more testing there, you could have pushed the Skillshare more. Like maybe if it was keyword marketed out to educators or maybe life
categories
skills or whatever.
That's also something.
Oh, right. Okay. So you can put in like fitness and health.
Yeah, like employment, education, these kind of categories.
Gotcha. Well, in that case, maybe there's a lot of options provided. They are very good with finding the right people, and it takes a while sometimes for the campaigns to keep going. What was your rate per day?
I was doing I experimented with between $1 and $10.
Right.
And so in general with AdSense, you would do like one general campaign and then look at all the like demographics viewing the campaign, and then you would specifically target the ones that get the most metrics, right? Say you target 10 groups and 2 of them account for 80% of the views, then you would target those 2 groups. But I really do understand now that I want to do Google AdSense to refer people, but it makes much more sense to have an ad, not a YouTube video. So it's an unlisted video that you purposefully just do with Google AdSense. And then you have that alongside, because the strategies are different for when you have an organic video that you've ranked and you're using keywords to get people to search for it. And for example, using ads, you can guarantee, you can force people to watch you for 5 seconds and they can't skip it. So if you create a 5-second ad, you guarantee that the person sees it. Whereas if you create a 20-second ad, the first 5 seconds for sure they'll see, but then after 7 seconds, like 80%, 90% of people have skipped, right? So that's something, again, to keep in mind is for an ad, if you could run a 5-second ad, then that could be more successful. Whereas for a YouTube video, a 5-second YouTube video is like useless, basically.
Oh yeah, entirely. It's not a buy, it's YouTube. Well, it does point towards the evidence of it, but is that the standard approach used for all YouTubers to only have ads as a non-organically searchable video?
I think so, yeah. Just because it's not, one of the advantages of YouTube is that it can be your marketing, so you don't have to pay for advertising and marketing. So the approach to create a video that generates traffic is to identify a problem, create a video that fixes this problem, and then to do keyword research to identify keywords that are in high demand, and to use these keywords in your title, your description, and your tags of the video. by doing this, you will accrue traffic, organic traffic from people watching your video. Whereas when you are paying for somebody to watch your video, the title doesn't really matter, the description doesn't really matter, and the keywords don't matter. It's a completely separate strategy to get people to watch. And so the kinds of consumers you're going to reach when you're paying is going to be different because you're paying for the content, you're forcing yourself on people. Whereas the people who find it organically they have an organic interest. So you're going to get better like sell-through rates out of them typically.
You get better mileage on all that. Question from the chat.
Hey,
I wrote it. Us. Definitely not from anywhere else related. So I was going to drop ship. What country would I live in? What does that question even mean? Is it that we're supposed to assume that based off of demographics trends, you're probably most likely from the United States? You know, maybe German. There's quite a high percentage of Germans doing it for whatever reason. Maybe you're neither of these things and you're from Australia.
Yeah, so I think what he's saying is, like, there's kind of a joking tone to it, and he's saying, so say that I was earning money from drop shipping and I could live wherever I wanted. What country should I live in? I would imagine that's the angle.
One for you, Jack. What country would you?
Yeah, I would live in Nicaragua, but that's just me.
You want some more neighbors? Jack's going to mislead you because he just wants neighbors.
Yeah.
I get you, Darren. Thanks for clarifying. The Irishman not getting the joke, man.
Yeah, I've been super happy in Nicaragua. Definitely.
What's the difference in food, for example?
Food. Okay, so like for reference, okay, you know Whole Foods in the U.S., Jamie?
Yeah.
Okay, so like you have the option of going to a grocery store that's much more expensive but has a lot of variety, right? In Nicaragua, you can shop at the Whole Foods equivalent, which is La Colonia, and it's still cheaper than like a Walmart in the USA.
Right.
Like there's certain things like you can't always find as cheap. Like there's ways to get meat in the States for $1 a pound. And like that's basically the same price as meat here. Sometimes if you go to the market, you could get like, you could get a whole chicken for cheaper than that. In some cases. But in general, you're not going to save a whole lot of money on that. But the produce is much cheaper. Like you could get food for a week for like $10 as long as you weren't being too fancy or frivolous. In my case, I really like I said, I shop at stores that are more expensive, so I could save a lot more money by going to the markets. But I like the variety of that. So in the US, if I went out and I splurged to cook a big meal for like 10 people, I may spend like between $100 and $200. Whereas here, I would spend between $30 and $70. And again, that is with me shopping at a more expensive store, not shopping as cheap as possible, because you could go into the markets and get stuff ridiculously cheap.
But the main expense is the meat, right?
Yeah,
normally, and isn't there not much difference anyway, as you mentioned? So, what kind of cost is there between a turkey there and a turkey in America?
I think turkey would probably be expensive here because they don't really eat it. It's also not eaten that much. Like Thanksgiving's not a thing here.
Right. What's the big food difference? Like, what things would you typically not get as much over there, or that is in much better supply than you would see in America? Give me your most hated and your most enjoyed. I'll take most enjoyed first, though.
Okay, so I live in the capital. I live in Managua, right? So my access to food here is pretty on par with access in the US. The only things that I can't get are like specialty foreign foods, like certain ingredients for Korean cooking or Ethiopian cooking. These kind of things I have trouble finding. But in general, I can find everything that I need. Like okay, yeah, I haven't bought a turkey before. I don't know where to get a turkey. But you could get duck, you could get chicken, you can get these kind of things, pork, beef, all really easily.
Right.
We feed the cats like the entrails of chickens. hearts, feet,
So do
kidneys,
you like that?
livers,
Have you found that
gizzards.
you don't mind the dingier stuff and the chickens
No,
and
I don't
stuff? Or you find
really.
yourself more
Like I said, because I live in the capital, I'm able to get most things. Pretty much
right?
anything that I want, I can get most of the time, unless it's some foreign cuisine. However, if you live in a rural area in Nicaragua, then you're talking about like you get to eat rice and beans, corn, chicken, beef, pork,
Hmm.
and that's most of it. Like there's some other like local fruits and vegetables that are really common. Like there's this thing called elote, I think, and it's like a little squash, and that's really common in like the soups. They have a soup they eat pretty commonly here called sopa de res, which just means beef soup basically. And that has a couple of these
Yep.
local vegetables. You also find lots of platanos, like plantain chips. You have maduro, which is like fried plantain, so it's a bit sweet. Then you have, and it's a bit soggy as well. Then you have like chips, plantain chips, these kind of things. People eat a lot of plantains. But if you're in the rural areas of Nicaragua, then you have much less access to foods. But since I live in the capital, I can get pretty much anything.
Fair enough. Well, that's really good that you have access to everything you had back at home. Look, another more interesting question, though, ask the chat. Everyone goes, is there any political concerns living?
Yeah, and so there definitely are political concerns. Like, okay, basically, Nicaragua is one of the poorest countries in this hemisphere. There's a lot of hardship. There's a lot of abuse towards people. A lot of companies abuse workers because there's so much labor they can just treat them like crap. They fire them, they die, whatever. They just replace them with new workers. That's kind of something in Nicaragua's history. Nicaragua has also been really abused by its own politicians multiple times in Nicaragua's history. Something horrible has happened, like there's been an earthquake, tons of people died, tons of damage, and then Nicaragua receives international aid, foreign aid, to kind of try and help lessen the burden of these catastrophes. And in historic context, most of
Have
the
we
time this aid is
correct?
diverted into politicians' pockets, and then the citizens never see any of it. And this has happened so frequently that there is a strong resentment towards the government, like really strong. So even if the government is doing things that are improving the situation in Nicaragua, there is so much anger and frustration because of all of the problems in the past, and because people, like, for their whole lives were screwed by decisions the government made of selfish interest. There's a lot of resentment there. So that's really important to understand, because sometimes there are protests against the government and these kind of things, and these protests can become violent because of all of this anger and animosity. So as long as you stay away from these protests, you're going to be okay. Like, you're not just going to be walking down the street and then just like shot or something like that. However,
Mhm.
if you participate in one of these protests, then you can die. That is a real that can happen. You could get
Right.
shot, and it doesn't necessarily mean that the government's going to target you and shoot you. You got to understand that there's forces trying to manipulate the government in certain ways. So people will like hire somebody to shoot a cop, knowing that the cop may defend themselves, but either way, the public's going to be angry at the police, and it's going to spark something, right? Because of all that
Yes.
resentment, it makes it super easy to cause these kind of problems. But again, if you stay away from the protests, you can live a life almost completely unaffected by it, as long as you have something for work. It is much harder on the locals, like really hard on the locals. The political situation, it decreased tourism a lot. It decreased a lot of jobs. A lot of companies left Nicaragua, which decreased the amount of available jobs even further. So the unemployment rate spiked a lot. But in general, my feeling with the locals that I live with is that people in Nicaragua don't want that. That there isn't enough anger anymore for people to really want to be fighting and to have these problems in the streets. It's not like it was in the past. Most people don't want that to be how Nicaragua is. Most Nicaraguans, they want things to be peaceful. So things have calmed down, but the events in April, like, it would probably be naive to think that nothing like that is going to happen again. It is kind of, it is a more unstable developing country. So probably in the future something will happen. More people will die, unfortunately.
Right. Um, Azim joined the chat there, says hello, and you were asked by Tironian. I assume all your banking is offshore or in something like PayPal. From my understanding, it's in PayPal, right?
Yeah. So Nicaragua uses U.S. banking, so you can have a U.S. bank account and just oh, 1 second. You can have a U.S. bank account and just have the ATM card here and just withdraw cash out of the ATMs. And people accept the dollar here. They accept the dollar and the Cordoba. Like even in super rural areas, you can pay with dollars. You'll always get Cordobas as change because people are paid in cords, but people prefer to be paid in dollar because the dollar is more stable. For some reference, when I came here first, the Cordoba was like 29 cords per dollar. Whereas now, only a year and a half later, it's 32.7 or almost 33 cords per dollar. So it's
Right.
constantly inflating and losing value. So the dollar inflates as well, but not as quickly.
Okay, so the 10%. Well, no, it took 33 to get there, so there's like a 10% deflation. Or sorry, a 10% inflation in that time. That's ridiculous. In the same time, America would have had only how long have you been there?
So I first came here like a year and a half ago, about almost 2
Right.
years. Actually,
So
no, it
America
was 2 years
would
ago
have
now. It was 2 years.
50%. Loses about 2.2% every year.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's funny because
enough.
in my head, the Cordobas is really inflated, right? 30 to a dollar. But then I went to Costa Rica. And this is quite interesting because financially, Costa Rica is in a better situation than Nicaragua.
Much
It's got a
better.
stronger
Much
economy, right? More tourism. But in Costa Rica, it's like 600 something colones per dollar. And so it's like, man, I thought Nicaragua was inflated, but compared to Costa Rica, it's not inflated at all. Like,
Well, there's a difference. So there's a stupid way you can actually like fix it economically and stuff. There's lots of economic principles that go into like why some currencies are better to have into the thousands and stuff. Like the Japanese are so acquainted with yen and whatnot, and their understanding of what's going on that there's no need to have it into the decimals. The use of decimals in like our system, where it's like $1 and like 50 cents,
yeah,
is strange in its own right. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it's why do you have to add that point? Why can you just say 150 instead of $1.50?
yeah,
So it's just a different mindset into the economics of it. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's an inflated economy. The inflation comes from generally it's disparity in values from one country to another.
yeah,
Just because its currency's amounts are different doesn't mean anything. Like the inflation in the euro versus America, like they're very similar, and that's what we utilize to equate things. But that's their decimal based system. You know, they go into the points all the time. The yen, fair enough, doesn't quite have as the same stability, but it goes into the tens of thousands and Colin reference, and it's stable enough as well.
yeah. That's an interesting point. I hadn't thought of because some currencies don't have a hundredth version of the currency, whereas most currencies, a lot of them do. But in Costa Rica, they do have. So there's colones and then 100 centavos in one colones.
You can move the point. You can actually economic without it annoying too many people if it's done right. Well, think about it, right? Let's say your currency, because hyperinflation was engaged, now suddenly everyone has billions, literally like billions of your currency. At some point, you can either replace it with a new currency, whatnot, or just go, the bank's everything, we're moving the point. So that like $1 billion becomes maybe worth like $1,000.
Yeah.
And you can do that, but it's better. We have to introduce a new currency to really push it. Someone with the name Hi has joined the call. And you got another question from Tyrone. And asked him, I want to know your Udemy earnings. Tell me your fucking Udemy earnings, Jack. Now.
Hello, third person.
Hi. Who is in a restaurant or a cafe?
I think I recognize his face. I can't really see it very well.
Are you a permanent citizen of Nicaragua?
Oh, I'll get to that. No, I'm not. I'm a
Okay,
tourist,
fair enough, fair enough.
technically.
Um,
So I'll cover Asim's question real quick. Asim, I don't earn that much money from Udemy anymore. I can show my Udemy earnings real quick. So at the peak, my Udemy dropshipping course earned $1,600 in a month. And on average, it was around $900 to $1,100. But after eBay made those changes to say more openly that dropshipping is against policy, the performance of this course completely crashed. So now I get between $300 and $500 per month from my Udemy course. If you're watching the live stream, you can look in the background and you can see every month. So this is from the beginning. I earned $900, $500, $500, $600, 1,100, 1,000, 1,300, 1,300, 800, 1,200, 1,000, 800, 1,200, 1,500, 1,100, 1,200, eBay change, 500, 500, 400, 350. So it crashed a whole bunch, but I haven't been making any new courses. I haven't been doing anything on Udemy. I'm trying to get away from it and focus on Skillshare.
Fair enough. Are you posting them on both platforms anyway?
No, so you can't really, you shouldn't post content directly onto both platforms. You have to do some revisions because the format for a Skillshare course is different than the format for a Udemy course. On Skillshare, for example, you have to have a project that people consume and work on. So this normally means you need to have some documents that people take like worksheets, basically, to study while they're taking the course. And you really have to encourage people to engage in the course by sharing in the community. This is something that Skillshare pays a lot of attention to. Whereas on Udemy, people either buy your course and don't refund it, or they buy the course and refund it, or they don't buy your course. That's all that happens. And then you have questions from students, and you can answer these and that kind of thing. And that's going to increase the chance that they don't ask for a refund. But on Udemy, the business model is just, it's very different. And there's so much focus on having to have effective marketing. Like you really have to have a marketing campaign in order to get the best out of a Udemy course. Whereas on Skillshare, it's not as dependent on marketing.
Is there a service that allows you to convert your courses from Skillshare to Udemy?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Be interesting because they were quite substantial. If you could be paying about 1,000 to have it on their course.
The thing is, a lot of instructors don't really want people to know that they have their content on Skillshare.
Right.
Because Skillshare,
it's a platform where everything is available. Whilst Udemy is you buy per course.
For people interested in just earning money, Skillshare is not a great option. Hey man, you have a great day too. Sorry, we can't really hear you.
Oh, he does. He's like eating in front of us, and we were having
frozen.
some kind of nice old South Korean style fetishy watching people eat thing. You don't know if I'm wearing anything under this.
From Somalia. Oh, it's Zach. Gotcha. Oh no, this is a different Zach. Yeah, because the other one's Zachariah. So how do we pronounce this? Zachariah? Zachariah?
Yes, it pronounces like that.
Oh man, wait. So if you guys are in Somalia, that means you're close. You can get like Ethiopian food and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh
so
my
where are you from?
God, I love Ethiopian food so much.
But I don't like.
You don't like Ethiopian food? What's your favorite kind of food?
No. I like Somalian food.
So what is Somalian food like? I don't really know anything about it.
So you can where you live?
I live in Nicaragua. I've lived in the United States. I've lived in England. I've lived in Saudi Arabia, and I've lived in Lesotho in Africa.
Okay, so it is better to visit Minnesota. Then you will see Somali food.
In Minnesota?
yeah, in United States.
Nice. I'm gonna be in the States in a couple weeks, so I'll try and find some. So how is it? How would you compare Somalian food to Ethiopian food?
They look similar.
I'm pretty sure I would love both Somalian and Ethiopian food, especially if they're similar. What's up, Alexander?
Yes.
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. What's going on with you?
Not much, not much. I used to watch your videos like before when you used to always post on like the eBay drop shipping.
Yeah, doing crazy stuff with Hydrolister.
You still do that?
No, I stopped drop shipping. I got banned.
Oh, what the fuck? How you got banned? I remember you used to have, your site used to have a whole bunch of little like products and random stuff. I used to try to copy it to see if I could make money.
Yeah,
But
I'm
then
pretty
after
sure
that,
everybody was sniping me.
after that, I quit though because I was like, man, this is like, I don't know. Just I guess I caught the trend too late, but yeah.
Yeah,
And I respect
there's
what you're
always a
doing.
way to make things work. It's just a matter if you want to go through the stress and that kind of thing. But so I got banned because I was trying to post as many items as possible, right? So I had a 100,000 item store, and eBay released this new store called an enterprise store. And with an enterprise store, you only pay 3 cents per listing, and I was paying 5 cents per listing. So in my mind, I was like, no brainer. I'm already at 100,000 items. Don't have to make the store any bigger. I should commit to this. Problem is that you need a year commitment with the enterprise store, right? So I sign up for this year commitment, super excited. And then 2 weeks later, it's April of 2018. And eBay changes how they feel about drop shipping. They become more outwardly against retail arbitrage. And like, when I was drop shipping, I would call eBay and be like, hey man, I did this thing with Amazon and they screwed it up and this is the situation. I was always completely honest with them about what I was doing. Whereas nowadays you can't be like that because it's against the policy to use sources like Amazon and Walmart. So I found myself in a situation where I had a year commitment to pay $3,000 every month to have these 100,000 items. And then eBay introduced the drop shipping flag and I was flagged. So I went from having like enough sales to cover my bills to not enough sales to cover my bills. And then the tool that I was using, Hydrolister, placed a limit of 4,000 items per month. I needed to post 100,000 items per month.
Damn.
So suddenly, I could only post 4%. And eBay introduced that other thing, right? So I was effed, like super effed, super scared. I was like, what do I do? I called eBay. I was like, hey guys, this is the situation I'm in. I'm drop shipping because when I started doing this, you guys were cool with it, but you've changed the policy. I'm not allowed to anymore, but I also can't cancel my store. What do I do? And they were just like, well, you're fucked. Like, they couldn't do anything at all. So I actually got lucky, and I had an item posted that the Vero rights holder reported as counterfeit, and my account got banned. And like, it had nothing to do with me drop shipping, but it meant that I was relieved of having this yearly commitment, and I was just able to stop doing eBay after that. And I just started focusing on YouTube and making courses and less stressful ways of living. I do not miss having an $8,000 bill every month. That was a bitch. It was super scary.
Wait, hold up. So you went from drop shipping and all that to going back to YouTube and making courses?
Yeah. Yeah, when I first got banned, I was earning more money from the drop shipping course. But I didn't like that. I want to earn money from lots of different income streams and basically earn money from pursuing my interests, so that if I want to grow mushrooms or something, I could make a digital product teaching people how to grow mushrooms, right? You know, cremini mushrooms and portobello mushrooms and shiitake mushrooms, right? Just for an example, like anytime I'm interested in something, I want to be able to pursue that interest and also create a product that people can buy. That's like my ideal lifestyle. So dropshipping was just a way to quit my job at Starbucks and be able to have the time so that I could live this lifestyle.
So what type? I've been checked. The only course I have is your eBay course. I didn't know you had other courses than that. What other courses you have?
So I teach on Skillshare, and I have 5 Skillshare courses. They're all about making courses or running YouTube channels. So there's a course about running a YouTube channel. There's a course about doing keyword research on YouTube. There's a course about how to make videos and live streams. There's a course about how to create Skillshare courses. And then what's the 5th course about? Then a course about editing video, like how to blur video, how to snip video, how to cut it up, how to do loop cuts, all this YouTube stuff. So right now, the Skillshare courses, there's 5 of them, and they're all relevant to people who want to create some kind of digital content. So if you want to create a YouTube channel, you want to create courses, then these courses are for you. And it's Skillshare. So, and I like the business model of Skillshare because on Udemy. Yeah, what do you do, Jamie? You should answer. You should tell us. What do you do?
Oh wait, what do I do?
Yeah.
I mean, like as a job.
I don't know. Like from the perspective of the people interacting. Yeah. What do you do?
So I said, question again?
From the people watching this live stream, like, because I know you to what you do, but you're just some random face who shows up on the live stream sometimes, as far as they're concerned, right? So,
right.
Who are you?
Your ideas, man. I would love.
Well, I'm a programmer behind a analytics company that is automating the process of drop shipping, and so I am here to absorb information in regards to the policy and theories to implement the approaches in a human aspect, so that I can apply it to a machine. That's what I do.
I don't understand too much, but I see what you're doing.
I make a computer, look at all the products on eBay and Amazon and Etsy and a whole bunch of other stores, and then it utilizes algorithms to then put certain listings that we want. I don't know how much detail I can go in here.
He's a programmer.
Yeah, I'm a programmer. There you go. That's nice and simple. I program things. I'm also able to independently get together a group to do software contracts and as well set up businesses if required in that process. So it's a bit more than just programming at the moment, but it's supposed to just be programming.
So 1 second. Alex, I'll address some things in the chat real quick, and then I'll talk to you again.
Okay.
So there was something. Oh yeah, Tyronius asked if I'm a permanent citizen of Nicaragua, do I have to apply for permission to reside there, etc., etc. So countries like Nicaragua are really, really easy to get into. In general, like when you talk about immigration, you're going to hear problems associated with that word because of what it's like to try and get citizenship in the United States or in a place in Europe. Like a lot of these high demand citizenship places, it's really hard to get citizenship. And it's also hard to stay in the country for a long period of time. Whereas with Nicaragua, it's really, really easy in order to get citizenship here. You can literally buy citizenship. So there's,
how much is it?
It's 30,000.
No, I don't have 30 grand.
It's 30,000.
Yeah, $30,000.
That's like the income of the entirety of Nicaragua.
That's wow.
Well, okay, so you don't literally buy it. What happens is you invest in something Nicaraguan. So if you purchase $30,000 of property, for example, say you buy a $40,000 house, you literally get residency with that house because you purchased $30,000 of Nicaraguan goods.
I
Say
love
that
this.
you were
It's
to
just the
purchase.
capitalists. They have this way, like all the businessmen in the world can go to any country they desire. Like, see, America, difficult if you're any normal person, but if you're a businessman, you only have to have 4 employees, 4 employees for like 3 years, and suddenly, bam, no problem. Come on,
Yeah.
feel free to enjoy our lands.
Wait.
You bring us profit. It's ridiculous. It's pretty disgusting. And Nicaragua has a much lower barrier to entry, it seems. 30 grand and then
What were you saying,
investment.
Alex?
Wait, hold up. Is that for every country outside the U.S.?
Not for every country, but in most countries, if you are willing to invest money into the economy, you can get either citizenship or residency.
So if I pay
All
like,
major countries that have a capitalist centered economy allow such immigrants.
what the? I didn't even know that. Wait, so if I bought a $5,000 house over here,
Is there
do
a
I
way
get
to tell
citizenship?
Alex, Mike? He's just really quiet for me.
As far as I know, he would have to do that himself. I don't know of a way to increase the gain on other people's mics.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. It's just a little bit soft.
Oh, sorry about that. Whoa, I did not know that. So it has to be, the property has to be over 35,000 or
No,
or 35,000.
That's specific to Nicaragua. So in Nicaragua, if you invest $30,000 into something and you do it properly, like you can't just come here and purchase 30 grand of something and be like, okay, I have citizenship now. You got to talk to lawyers before you do it. You got to get approved. There's a process for it. But yeah, with Nicaragua, you can come here, talk to lawyers, purchase something for at least $30,000 or invest in a business. So say that somebody's starting a Nicaraguan business and you give them $30,000 in an approved, trackable way, then you can get residency that way. You don't get citizenship. You get like, I think it's a 5-year revolving residency or 1 year. I don't remember. The way that works is that you can stay for a year and then you just have to refresh your status. You don't have to repurchase anything. You just have to be like, hey, I still want to stay here, yada, yada. And then like, say that you did some heinous crime or something, maybe they don't let you. But typically, you're just going to be able to keep renewing your residency. There's also, like I said, Nicaragua in particular is a really easy country to get residency. You can also get residency simply by retiring here. The requirements are to be over like 53, to have more than $500 from a pension every month, and to not be a government employee from the United States. So that is really easy. Like say that you're 60 and you want to retire, but you don't have enough money to retire in the States. You can retire in Nicaragua and get residency just by being there, because they have laws in Nicaragua about encouraging foreigners to retire here, to bring that money into Nicaragua.
Wait, you used to live in the States, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say is like the big difference other than like the food and because I know the food's way better out there.
Big difference. So it depends. The States is a big place. Say that you live in Los Angeles. Nicaragua's pretty similar. Managua is pretty similar to Los Angeles, like in the way that the buildings are constructed, the kinds of food that you can find. There's a lot of Hispanic influence in Los Angeles. Like, I mean, it means the angels in Spanish, right? It's a Spanish name. So if you're from that kind of area, it's really similar. Whereas if you're from other places in the United States, then
I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, if you're in like an inner city area, then there's going to be similarities. The most striking difference for most people from the U.S. is the way that buildings are constructed here, because everything is concrete and iron bars. Like the U.S., if someone is outside of your house with an assault rifle, you're fucked. Even if you have the fanciest security system, they can get into your house and like hurt you. Houses in the U.S. aren't designed to actually stop people with weapons from getting in.
You can punch through the walls here.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Haven't, but you can.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is completely possible.
most
The
houses
wall-
are built of drywall.
And the Nicaragua are concrete.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
What?
so
I did not know that.
so the building construction is very different. Like it can feel really intimidating if you're in the streets in Nicaragua because everything's just walls and there's barbed wire and razor wire everywhere. But you get used to it. And so if you live in Brooklyn, then there's absolutely places in like the inner city that are built this same way, where there's a lot of iron bars. So maybe it's not as foreign. But aside from that, like everyone speaks Spanish. There aren't that many tourists or like white skinned people. It's not super common, especially now. Like now there's more tourists, but after the political situation, tourism like completely stopped basically.
what
Really?
proportion of the population are gringos?
I don't know. Like in Managua, it's definitely less than 1%. Like definitely. But
Right.
in like some of the other places like Leon or the tourist like towns, then it's going to be completely different. Most tourists who come to Nicaragua do not stay in the capital. They come here and the airport is in the capital, but then they immediately go to Leon or Esteli or some other place. They may stay for one night in Managua, but like I live here, so.
Mhm. Very different. So,
Is your family
Alex,
out there with you too?
No. So my father is dead. He died
Oh.
a long time ago, so don't worry about it. It's part of my life. And my mother lives in Virginia.
Oh, I got family out there. Okay. That's dope.
Yeah. I have family like non-blood family. Like I'm super close to the people I live with, which is one of the reasons I'm so happy here because everything's cheaper. I can access the internet and do money earning what I love, and I don't have to worry about like paying my rent or having food. I can just get what I want. These concerns are all in the past, right? Just because everything's so much cheaper here. And normally you would sacrifice feelings of community or family and feelings of loneliness in exchange for this. But I got lucky because of the way that I came to Nicaragua. I ended up getting involved with a group of really, really amazing, super interesting people who I really love. So like I get the best of everything. It's fucking awesome.
It's dope.
Terrifying.
That's dope.
Let me look in the chat real quick. There's another question.
Got a few.
Where is it? One second. Okay, we covered the Udemy earning.
Jack's time is rent outable. There's an app called Calendly for it. I'll link him. Don't you worry, Jack. I'll plug you.
Hey, by any chance, would you guys have like any advice for like? Cause I literally just came out of high school, and I don't know. I just been looking for like I just go and get other people's point of views because I know I'm just trying to have something for myself, you know, and take care of my family because it is kind of hard out here. It's crazy, ridiculously expensive. And I don't know. I just want to be able to get like people's ideas and thoughts. Like, what would you say for a young 19-year-old?
And you're trying to earn money through your own means, like not through a job. Is that
Exactly.
okay?
And I'm not trying to do anything.
There's a lot. So I
Yes.
can give you a little presentation. Maybe it'll take like 5 minutes.
Okay.
There's a basic concept you have to understand with online income, right? Because this is what you want. You want to be able to earn money online, right?
Uh-huh.
So there's some laws about online income. Like on this planet, gravity is a law. If you throw something up, it comes down. We can't escape. I mean, we could leave the planet and escape gravity, but on Earth, we can't. You know, we have to abide by this. Same thing with online income. And the law that you should think about is that if payments exist, so if you are receiving money online, that means there is traffic and there is a product. These two things have to exist in order to receive payment online.
There must be a road and a shop for something to be sold. If there's nothing connecting the shop,
the shop has to exist and people have to go to the shop. But so it's really important that you understand this. Hey, it's Ken. Holy crap.
how's it going, Ken? Never met
Ken.
you before.
Oh man, I haven't talked to Ken in a while. But let me finish this little rant for Alex.
But so it's really important that you understand.
I hear a loop. One second.
Ken, never met you.
Oh man.
Hey Ken. So if you can put in headphones or something, we can hear the stream through your microphone, so it's causing a loop.
Is it? I don't have headphones. So I don't have
I
headphones.
can't.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just have to. I'll mute you just for now, so I can answer Alexander's question, and then when you talk, I'll just make sure I'm not talking. All right, cool. So Alex, again, really think about this concept that anytime online income exists, it's because there's traffic and there's a product. Okay.
Mhm.
So ideally, what you want is you want to be one of the people who can bring traffic, because this is what everybody pays for. People will create products, like a course, for example, and then it doesn't matter if you just have a course, even if it's an amazing course. If nobody's going for it, there's no traffic, you're not going to earn any money from it, right? So before we get into too much detail about all the different things you can do, it's really important to understand that on the internet, those who can provide traffic to people rule. They have almost all the power. If you can bring traffic to people, you get free services, you get free money. It's just like really, really, really effective. Okay, so whenever possible, you want to be doing things that allow you to be in a position in the future where you can bring traffic to people. This is why having a YouTube channel is so lucrative, because the YouTube channel can be used to create an audience who knows you exist. Then if you create a course, you have a starting point for it. Or if you start selling a product, you have a starting point for it. You create a game, you have an audience to sell it to, right? So the easiest way is come from thinking really far ahead and being like, okay, how do I build an audience? How do I start creating content? How do I get all this going? Because it doesn't pay off right now. Like if you were to start a YouTube channel right now and do a video every day, you're not going to be earning $1,000 a month in a week or two. That's just not going to happen. It just won't.
Yeah.
However, if you make YouTube videos every day, 2 or 3 years from now, it's completely feasible for you to be earning a couple grand a month passively through the opportunities that you've come across and through the development of yourself through running this YouTube channel. So, again,
Unless you Minecraft videos, in which case you got decades.
yeah, then it takes 2 decades to get noticed. but so I want you to understand that, because I'm gonna share other ways to make income for you, but these are all kind of stepping stones and very temporary and not stable. If you want actual stability from online income, you need to be able to bring traffic to other people. That's the thing that you'll always be able to earn money doing. And so the step below that is having your own digital products. But there's a couple different strategies I'll run through really quickly, different business models. So you've heard about drop shipping. That's one.
Yep.
Okay, I'm not going to go over that because you know what it is. Another thing is affiliate marketing. So
Yeah, I'm not about that.
yeah, so I'm an affiliate marketer. I don't like saying that I'm an affiliate marketer, but I absolutely am. I make videos and people pay me for videos. They pay me for signups through the videos. I earn money that way, right? But you don't need to have a YouTube channel to do affiliate marketing. All you need to do is identify a product and then identify people who need the product. So typically people who do affiliate marketing in this sense as beginners without an audience, what they will do is go to a service like clickbank.com. And ClickBank has a bunch of products that have affiliate services. So for example, say you find a $20 product that is some health product that encourages faster metabolism and makes it easier to lose weight. So as an affiliate marketer, you would identify the product, then you would find a place where people who may be interested in the product are. For example, a forum online about weight loss. So you would then go to this forum where these people are, and you would be useful to these people. You don't just spam the links, because that doesn't work. What you have to do is identify questions people have and answer these questions usefully, because then that will inspire the people to then follow through and interact with your links. So that's the basic premise of like introductory affiliate marketing if you don't have an audience. You don't need a YouTube channel to get started. What you do is you identify products and you post in forums. And then people will sign up through your referral links if you do it properly. And every time you're making more and more and more and more of these posts, after you've been doing it every day for a couple months, you've got like 1,000 posts in different places. So it starts to add up. And even if you're getting just 1 or 2 referrals per day, depending on the kind of stuff you're referring, that could be anywhere from like $10 $12 per referral, like on Skillshare, or it could be $100 per referral, like with a business loan thing, like Cabbage, for example. So it really varies a lot. So that's another opportunity you have. You also have the ability to resell digital products. So, for example, on Etsy, you can sell designs, right? You can sell images. So you can purchase fonts and images from websites like designbundles.com. Imagine that you have this cute picture of a cartoon reindeer and it's winter, and you also got like little animations of like Santa Claus and snow and this kind of thing. You can purchase these with commercial use allowed and then resell them on Etsy. This is another form of earning money online. It's similar to dropshipping, except you're not actually dropshipping a product. You're just reselling a digital service. In addition to that, you also have things like Amazon and Amazon FBA. However, this is hard to get into in the beginning. It's usually best for people who have some kind of cash flow established and then they have some experience with e-commerce. These are the kind of people who tend to do better in FBA. However, it is something that you can mostly automate. So it is something I'll bring up. But again, I'm trying to keep from the perspective of things that people without an audience, without a YouTube channel could do to earn money online, like in your situation.
Thank you.
The other thing that comes to mind is through doing merchandising. So you can sell printable products, print-on-demand products, right? So like T-shirts, mugs, all these kind of things. And what people who do this will do is they start with keyword research. And they try and identify what is trending. Like, say that some big football team is about to play against another football team in the US. Then you could be like, okay, let's say it's the Steelers, right? They have a phrase and their colors are black and yellow. So I could make a T-shirt that has words, like some phrase related to the Steelers that people resonate with, that they like, right? So then you just print, or you make this design and it's a T-shirt catered towards this specific niche of people, and you have a phrase on the T-shirt that they relate to, that they like, that they enjoy, that they identify with. And then you advertise these products to these specific niches, and you can sell products that way. And as soon as the sale happens, then the shirt is created and printed. So you don't have to ever touch anything. It's again similar to drop shipping. And that's called print on demand.
Print on demand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Odd. What would you, let's say you were to distribute on Etsy, where would you advise marketing it?
I don't actually know too much about that business model. I took one course about it, and all it showed me, I can share the screen real quick. 1 second. Okay, all it showed me was to use this website, designbundles.net. So if you go to Design Bundles, you can buy like graphics, basically. Like, for example, if I paid $8 for this bundle, I would get a bunch of hand-drawn images of bunnies and foxes and squirrels and this kind of thing. And then I could do whatever I want with this. Like you can see here, it says premium license included with commercial use allowed. So imagine we pay $8 for this, and then we can go onto other websites and sell it for like $1 a piece, right? Because we recreate the product over and over again, we can sell it for less than we originally paid. We would just have to sell it 8 times to start being profitable. And so Jamie was asking how you would go about advertising this, and I don't actually know. As far as I understand, Etsy has a lot of traffic already, so you don't necessarily need to advertise, but being good at marketing is critical. Like, there's not really any situation where marketing can't help. It can always help.
Yeah. So what do you mean you would take these designs and resell the designs? Would you mean put it on a product and then like sell the product, or sell the
you
design?
Literally just download it from one website and upload it to another website. That's literally.
Oh,
what
you actually sell the sketches.
Yeah.
Right. Intense.
Yeah, you can download templates on Etsy. So traditionally, this is for artists who like they don't feel super comfortable, or they want to speed up their process somehow. So instead of like making the art themselves, they want something that's already been created for them so that they can copy it or that kind of thing.
Right.
Do you know more about the print on demand business model?
I know a little bit. I can refer you to some resources that can help you more.
I just want to ask one question. Are there any is there a way that you can probably get sued because I just got so many ideas in my head, but you never know. Is there a way you can get sued and like people see your product and feel some type of way about it?
It depends what you're doing. So in this case, what I'm talking about, where you purchase a design from a website and you have commercial use allowed, then no, you're not going to get sued. But if you are like, say that you're creating a T-shirt and you download an image, a trademarked or copyrighted image, and you print it on the T-shirt, then you could get sued for that because you are committing what's it called? You're stealing somebody else's intellectual property. So a good way to avoid that is to not use logos and not use images. It's really hard for people to trademark phrases. They can trademark individual words. That's possible, like Velcro, for example. If you put Velcro on a T-shirt, technically you need to pay Velcro, the person who owns Velcro, for that. But when it comes to whole phrases, like this is how I live or something like that, it's really hard for you to get in trouble for this just because they're phrases and they're really hard to copyright and trademark. So what a lot of these print-on-demand people will do is they identify places like I talked about earlier, like football teams, and then they figure out like, okay, what are the phrases that these football team fans use to communicate to each other, and then they just plop the phrases onto a shirt. And they may use colors that remind the players of the team colors, like in the Steelers, like black and yellow, I think, right? I actually don't know anything about football, just for reference. Just as an example. So in general, if you stick to phrases, then you can avoid most of these problems. But if you are using images, even if you made the image yourself, the way copyright and trademark law works, or trademark law, sorry, it's different than copyright law, is say that you have a can and it is silver and blue and it has a cow on it and the cow is red and there is a big sun behind the cow that's yellow. You haven't directly copied Red Bull's logo, but it's close enough that people will think about Red Bull when they see your image. And in some cases, this can get you sued. So you can get in trouble even for just creating an image that's close enough that the person looking at it thinks about the actual company. So you do have to be careful anytime you're working with images. Again, phrases are great because it's really hard to get in trouble with phrases.
Is there a way to check? There's like a website where you can check if something's copyrighted or not?
Well, all logos and images, you should just assume they're copyrighted and trademarked. Unless you pay for it with commercial use allowed. In which case, like, it is copyrighted or trademarked, but you have the permission, so it's okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No worries, man. And you're always welcome to schedule a call with me or anything. So someone asked earlier in the chat, Tyronius asked, do you rent out your own services to other folks who want to create a YouTube channel for their specific needs? So I do offer consulting, as Jamie was referencing earlier. I do free consulting if you let me record the video and publish it to my YouTube channel. You can ask about anything. We can talk about anything you want. You can have me just hold you accountable, like literally anything. As long as the video is recorded and published. It could be to my YouTube channel or your own YouTube channel. It's free. However, if you want it to be private, then you have to pay. And it's $30 or $20 per 30 minutes. So $40 an hour. But typically these calls are like 30 minutes. But just so you guys know, if anyone is interested in that or you're watching this video and you want my help with something and you're comfortable with me recording it, it's free. If you want it to be private, then you have to pay me. Either way, you can go into the link in the description. There's a link to calendly.com/JackPitman. And then you literally just pick a date, pick a time, and I call you on that time. It just puts it directly into my calendar. So it's really automated and really easy. Hey, Zachariah is back. Okay, I think.
Yes, I'm back.
Hey, you were gonna tell us what the difference between Somalian food and Ethiopian food is.
Well, Somalia and Ethiopia, in culturally, they are close to each other. The favorite Ethiopian food called it Ethiopian pancake and dafi. Also, Somalis have that kind of culture,
Hmm.
but the Ethiopian food is a bit famous than the Somalis food, but they are almost the uh, same each other.
So is most of it consumed with the spongy bread, right? What's this called in Somalia? In Ethiopia, it's injera.
Here in Somalia is anjero.
Anjero. Is this? Am I saying it correctly? Anjero.
Yes.
Okay. And so that is how most meals are consumed with this.
Anjero. Yes. So I am searching for Zoom online in YouTube, and I found out this channel, and I am less I have less information about this topic, but I think if I am not wrong, you were talking about how to make investment and create some profit in online.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
correct?
So Alex asked, he said he's 19 and he wants to earn money online. And so he asked if I could just summarize some different strategies that can be used to earn money online. So we talked about a few different approaches you could take to earn money.
Is that approach include forex trading?
Or say it again.
FOREX, forex, foreign exchange.
Oh, like GDAP. Oh, okay, gotcha. I personally have like no experience with this, but I do know that people do microtransactions, and you can earn money through doing foreign exchange. That's like absolutely another opportunity.
So I miss out the strategies that you mentioned tonight. So can you summarize me a little bit?
Yeah.
Or the approaches that I can make.
So the strategies that I talked about, one is drop shipping. So this is when you sell products that you can order online, right? So from Amazon, Walmart, other places. There's more legitimate ways to do it. Then we also covered using designs. So you can purchase digital designs and resell them. So you basically buy something from an artist, like in this situation, it was on a website where they had cartoons around like foxes and different animals. And then on Etsy, which is a very art-themed website, you can sell digital designs. So what you can do is purchase designs from artists or from different websites, and say you pay $10 for a design. Then you can sell it on Etsy, and you sell it for like $1 or $2. So after you sell it 10 times, you've paid for the good, and it's just gonna, every time it sells, that's just straight profit, right? So that's another concept, is reselling digital designs. Another example, or another income stream is, let's see, what else did we cover? Jamie, do you remember?
Well, the ones you talked about, the pod model, doing the sound like eBay dropshipping, Amazon FBA is a bit harder. We mentioned that. Etsy, like, just selling the designs themselves.
And print on demand.
So obviously there's lots of ways to make money online. You could just do day trading with crypto if you really wanted, if you were smart enough. There's processes where you just sell like consultancy for certain skill sets if you've developed them over the years. You can do what I do and identify humanly attainable tasks that can be easily automated, and then just program it. There's to do what they do and try and resell that. There's lots of options, or just go on Fiverr and claim that you're an artist, and just someone will eventually send you money, and then you'll learn to be an artist quick enough. These are options. Fiverr sounds pretty fun, to be honest. Like I have never sold myself in Fiverr, nor do I know anything about it, but it does sound at least fun to try out.
I'm responding to something real quick.
No worries. Ken, I assume you haven't fixed your mic there. I saw. Oh, I didn't see a chat here. The sound is too slow. Can you, like, as in there's a delay from being spoken to you hearing? I'll assume that's what it is and continue on. Ken, I see that you can get your mic fixed.
Well, so no, Ken's not. He's not in a position where he can fix his mic. It just means that when he starts talking, we just need to make sure we're not talking, because then it'll cause a loop. So whenever, I'm just going to respond to this and then ask Ken a question, and then we'll be quiet, and then it should be fine.
Gotcha. Well, I was gonna ask him the question now. We both be silent whilst you're writing the question.
There you go. Go to town.
So, Ken, what do you do for a living?
I am electrical engineer here in Somalia.
That's cool.
Awesome.
So,
Wow.
you guys, Jamie and Jack Pitman. So, where are you from?
You can go first, Jack.
All right. I've lived in a lot of places. I live in Nicaragua now. I was born in Sri Lanka. I've lived in England and the United States and Lesotho in Africa. Yeah, you probably actually know where Lesotho is because you're from Somalia. Most people I tell, they're like, Lesotho? What? They have no idea.
No problem. You live many places, but what is your original country?
Sri
It means
Lanka,
like
technically.
Sri Lanka. I heard Sri Lanka that China took their borders for 100 years. Is that correct?
Say it again. 400 years. What?
100 years. China signed a contract for Sri Lanka government that they are controlling one of their major borders for 100 years.
Wow, I didn't know that. Jamie seems to be very amused by this.
It's hilarious. I love it. It's like, the exchange in Hong Kong. They're like, it's as good as forever. 100 years roll on by. Can we please have the country back? Yeah, sure. There you go.
Wait, so China owns Sri Lanka? Is that what you're saying?
No. It's well, Saki probably knows more detail about it. It's a specific aspect of Sri Lanka. Like,
Jamie, where are you from?
me, I'm Irish, but I'm currently in America, in Indianapolis. I'm not going to give you the exact address, but a few more conversations, and I might just feel like it. But no, I'm from Ireland.
You are from Ireland, North Ireland, or
Northern Ireland. Oh, I'm glad you're being that specific. The English-friendly side of Ireland.
McGregor, the boxer, come from Ireland.
Yes. Do you know though, like, our leagues are nothing compared to like Mexico and stuff like that, in all fairness. But no, boxing's quite the thing in Ireland. And then hockey and Gaelic, all very popular.
Have you ever been to Somalia?
Nah. What's it like there?
Sorry?
I'm afraid I haven't been to Somalia. What's it like there? What I've heard is it's not exactly
Pirate.
the most favorite place
to
be right now in this time in the world. What's your opinions?
Sorry, say again.
What's it like living in Somalia?
Yes, absolutely. It is 60% good.
Fair enough. What results from this?
As you heard that conflict in Somalia, it is still going on.
Is it growing?
No. It is shrinking. It is declining. The beast is growing, and the
I get
government is getting stronger.
That's good.
Yeah, that works.
10 years ago, we were in a bad situation, but now the situation is a lot better than that time.
What's the education like in Somalia? Do you have like world class universities and stuff, or like how do you get in?
No. There's no high rank universities in Somalia.
Right at all?
It is, when we are comparing with African standard, it is normal. But when we are comparing with European and some Asian universities, the quality of education is very bad.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but according to Africa, it is somehow normal.
Right. What are the facilities like? In high schools, do you have IT facilities where it's nothing else but computers, like 20, 30 computers in a room kind of thing? Do you have access to that?
You mean technology development in Somalia?
Yeah, in high school, do you have computer lounges?
We have one of the fastest growing telecommunication network in Africa.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Uh,
China, by chance? Is China involved in some way?
No, the involvement of China in telecommunication sector is not huge. The involvement of China just started 2 years ago here in Somalia. They took 30 fishing licenses and they also make some projects like road and airport construction.
Oh, interesting. No, that's not cool. No, like, I feel like I've been keeping Jack from saying anything.
No, you're fine. I was just giving you guys time. I want to catch up with Ken.
Yes.
Is there anyone who have been to Kenya? Have you ever visited Kenya?
I have not. The only places I've been in Africa is Lesotho and South Africa and Swaziland, I think. Whatever's north of South Africa. My African geography is pretty bad.
It's a big place.
Yeah.
Bigger than America. I consider like.
Oh, I think Swaziland is the other landlocked because there's two landlocked countries in South Africa. There's Swaziland and Lesotho. I think. I've been to those places, but a long time ago.
I never, I have never been country other than Somalia in my life.
Oh, really? Fair enough.
But maybe you visited a lot of African countries than me.
Have you been to different, like, what are the main places in Somalia, like the different cities, for example? I would imagine that you've been to different places within Somalia.
Yes. Now I live in the capital city, Mogadishu.
Mm-hmm.
Mogadishu. And there is other huge cities like Beledweyne, Kismayo, Jowhar, Hargeisa, Garowe.
Yeah, I recognize Mogadishu. How do you say it properly? Say it again.
For Somali pronunciation, or do you mean English?
The capital, Moga. How do I say it?
Mogadishu.
Mogadishu.
Yes.
Mogadishu.
But for English pronunciation, they always say that Mogadishu.
Mogadishu. Yeah, that's what I recognize. But so, like, you have to kind of swallow Mogadishu.
Mogadishu.
Mogadishu. Wow. Okay, I'm struggling.
Okay, so what is your professional?
Profession?
Yes.
I make YouTube videos. This is my life. And courses.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to be a barista, so I'd make coffee. And I worked in like retail and employed jobs for 8 years. And then that was specifically so that I could become
Sorry,
self-employed.
for mobile interference.
It's all good. So listen, Zach, I want to ask Ken some questions, okay? Did you hear me? I don't know.
Thanks for all your information about Somalia and stuff. So.
Yeah, this has been cool. I definitely want to. Oh man, I just want to find some.
I know
African
literally
food.
fuck all about Somalia. When Somalia is brought up, the only thing, and Tyrone points it out right here in chat, I just thought pirates.
Yeah. All countries have these like judgments and preconceptions. So
Irish, they all alcoholics, little leprechauns everywhere with their little hats. They all fiddly dee. All their dance just involves standing in a line and being in perfect unison. It's all true, actually. We all live in a castle called Dublin. There's only about 7 of us, and our main export is "Kiss Me, I'm Irish" t-shirts. We all have our stereotypes. But yeah, Ken, questions. I'll let you continue. I'll even mute.
Yeah, I'm gonna unmute you now. All right, Ken.
Hey, what's up?
I don't know. What's been up with you?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Whoa, wait a second. The loop's gone. That's cool.
I muted.
You hear me?
Interesting.
It's magical.
Yeah. Yeah, earlier we could hear everything that the stream was saying while your audio was live. So it gets hard to hear what words you're actually saying and what words are just
Well,
being
no, I
repeated.
actually put headphones on, and that was a disaster. I was hearing like all the re-looping, and I was like, oh no, I got to take this off. And I adjust some settings, and maybe it has something to do with the settings I just adjusted, so we wouldn't be dealing with that. So here we are.
Nice.
Yeah. So how's life?
Things are amazing, man. Like, really great. I was really stressed about Skillshare because I made a YouTube video, and then it was a 14-minute YouTube video, and it earned over $1,000, which is a really good hourly rate, like super good. And so I was super happy about that. But then I had to take the video down. Then I felt really sad and defeated, and I went through those emotions for like a week, and then I got over it and made the new video. So who knows if it'll perform as well.
Hey, here, Ken. Are you sure you didn't just have the YouTube and the Venmo or the Zoom running at the same time?
What's that?
Are you sure you didn't have the video and the Zoom running at the same time? Because I had that at one point, and I was hearing the double.
Right, it could have been possible, but it was really bad. It was really bad.
No worries, man.
Right. So you got over that, and did you try to put it back up, or what's the deal?
So I worked with Skillshare and redid the video, fixed the things they didn't like, and republished it. But I'm being impatient, and it takes time for the video to grow and get attention. Basically, YouTube has to see that people are interested in it, and then YouTube starts to push it after a couple weeks. So that is still happening, and I have to be patient and focus on other things. And so now I got to figure out what my next Skillshare course will be. Haven't figured that out yet. There's tons of things. Like someone in the chat actually mentioned making a course about living in Nicaragua. Could totally do that. that would be interesting.
We do vlogs and stuff. That'd be dope. This is how you hassle in the market.
Haggle.
In Spanish.
Yeah.
Cheaper.
Yeah, I got to start practicing my Spanish more and actually trying to learn it. I'm learning, but not by trying. I'm just like, I'm here, so I'm learning.
Yeah,
But
right.
it's different. What's been new with you, Ken? What have you been up to recently?
Just doing the same shit.
What is the same shit, Ken? What do you do?
So just running our cleaning company, and I still do eBay full time. So
Cool. So you do eBay dropshipping and the cleaning business?
no, don't
He's
do
a
eBay.
reseller.
reseller. Oh, you're a proper eBay seller. Fair enough. I respect that more so than that drop shipping.
Yeah.
How's the dry cleaning?
Yeah, so the cleaning company is probably just growing every week, which is awesome. So you know that's 100% cash business.
What kind of cleaning company is it?
So a residential and commercial cleaning company. So we obviously do houses, and we also do offices and dentist office and a lawyer and all that type of stuff. So we do both. Our residential is probably more higher. We're trying to grow our commercial side. So, but it's
what kind of degrees of cleaning though? Because I know like there's situation you have hoarders and stuff that have like years of build up. Or
no, these are people. These are typically probably 90. I would say 100% actually are people that you know that make a lot of money. So they're either doctors or lawyers or some type of a business owner.
So extra help.
So we typically do. We initially go in and do something called a deep cleaning because we've never cleaned their house. So it's a much higher price. And then after the deep cleaning, we'll do a maintenance clean, which is basically just keeping up on the deep clean that we just did, which is bi-weekly, which is every 2 weeks. So those clients are booked every 2 weeks throughout the year. Then we also do move outs, which basically means that you sold your house and now nothing's in it. So you need to move out. So everything's cleaned for the next people that buy it or rent it or whatever. And then we also do move-ins, which is kind of like the opposite, the same thing. But it's we're probably the largest company in this area, so we get lots of business, and it's fun. It's probably 99% cash business, 7 days a week. So you know, hey, yeah, it's nothing wrong with being able to get cash, guaranteed cash, 7 days a week. So it's sometimes those days are larger than others. So sometimes it's a $500 day, sometimes it's $1,000 day, sometimes it's.
What are your earnings with the cleaning versus your earnings with the Amazon or the eBay?
The cleaning is definitely at this point is definitely more because, like I said, it's
right. Which have you been doing longer?
Longer probably eBay, but more consistent probably the cleaning company because it's our bread and butter. So I mean, it's how we pay the bills. It's how we go on vacation. It's how we do all those other things. So it's quite significant. I've actually switched on the eBay thing because initially I was doing reselling and then I went to drop shipping. Didn't really like it. Don't like the profit margins. The profit margins are much higher when you're reselling, and especially when you have a couple of sources for inventory. Like I'm primarily focusing on shoes. So I do women's and men's shoes. So I either get them used from some sources or I use outlets for like Nike outlets, Adidas outlet, Cole Haan outlet, etc. And so I can get those shoes significantly lower. As an example, if I'm getting used shoes, I can probably pay $2 for them, and I can flip them for anywhere between 40 and 100.
Right, yes.
Depending on what the shoe is.
The shoe game is intense. It's like a lot of eBay businesses exclusively sell
eBay's
shoes.
retarded. So I'll tell you a backstory. This is funny, Jack. So before we moved to our new house, so my eBay got shut down because I owed them a lot of money. Not a lot of money, but let's just say $700. So when I moved here,
I still owe them $3,000.
Everything's different because now I have a new IP. Now I have a new address. Now I have a new everything. So I just started a new account. Probably, I don't know. It's only been like 3 months, and I'm still in PayPal Gel. I got a PayPal Gel July 2nd. So they have no idea.
That's fucking awesome.
but what's funny is it's the same banking information connected to the PayPal.
Different PayPal account though?
No, same PayPal account.
So
they have no idea. That
is enough for them to link it.
It is.
Yeah.
But so why haven't they linked it?
I don't know, but
I have no issues. I talk to them. I have conversations with them. I get increases like weekly. So any kind of red flag that they would possibly look. I mean, it is a different email, so it's not the same email.
But the PayPal email is the same as the one on the previous eBay account.
No, it's a different email.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then wait,
but it's the same banking information connected to that PayPal.
Yeah, well, the eBay doesn't see the banking information. They just see the master PayPal account and all correlated added addresses. Because you can add multiple addresses to a PayPal account.
Right. So it's a different physical address. It's a different email address. Obviously, it's a different IP because we live in a different place.
Yeah.
So only thing really is the same bank account.
Yeah, and that's not eBay doesn't actually see the bank account.
Yeah.
They just see the PayPal account. But
And
so
again,
explain again. You were using PayPal before on eBay,
right.
and so you are now using a new PayPal account with the same banking information, or the exact same PayPal account.
It's the same PayPal account with a different email address.
So you added another email address to it.
And deleted the other one.
Changed that, right?
Okay, so you changed the master email. You didn't add a sub email. Okay, that might be why.
Don't use that. Right, but I'm not getting, like I said, I mean, another account's there because I still get emails from eBay telling us you still owe this much money. But on the other account that I'm using, which has always been my email for years, I just never used it for eBay or PayPal, is connected. So, but like I said, I'm selling consistently. I'm getting increased consistently. There's no questions. There's no nothing.
Yeah, because by changing your location, you effectively you spoofed everything basically. Because the only then once you've changed your location, like you said, it changes your IP, changes your billing address. The only thing that they could link you with is the master email of the PayPal account. But if that's changed, then yeah.
Well done, Ken. You have $700, and better yet, you took it right out of eBay's pockets.
Right. So yeah, and what's funny is it's the same town. So I guess that doesn't matter. I live in the same town. It's the same zip code.
And it's also the same name, I would imagine.
Yes.
Yeah. That's one thing we're trying to figure out with this whole stealth thing is
the store name. Obviously, the name is different. The store name is not the same name. Obviously, that account's still sitting there. I'd rather have that account because it's got really high positive feedback on it.
Yeah.
But this one, this one's growing. This one's growing.
Hey, an account you could use is better than an account you can't use.
And I'm really thinking about, I'm going to say this, I think I really have brain research and I really want to start selling sex toys. Just because I think they're high. Obviously, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah.
They sell, and I do have a source for them actually, out of California, but that shit just sells like a wildfire.
No, there's some limitations to where the categories can be posted. I remember there was a week.
I had that conversation directly with eBay because I was curious because I had heard some stuff and they're like, no, as long as it's new in packaging, obviously you're not selling used dildo. So as long as it's new in packaging, and another thing is you can't ship internationally, so it only has to be in the U.S. So as long as you're doing those two things, then you're fine. Because somebody said, oh, well, there's certain type you can't sell. So I call and they're like, no, you can sell anything, pocket pussies, blow up dolls, whatever you want to sell. As long as it's new in the package and it's not being shipped internationally.
That's funny.
Ken, selling adult toys. I'm Irish. You ready for the jokes?
Right.
When did you get the vibe for it? I hope you don't find it too hard, Ken. Just don't, when you're going for it, don't be a pussy, okay?
Right. But eBay, Jack, eBay's changed. It's, the shipping is getting ready to change, which is really kind of going to be interesting with the USP, the United States Postal Service. So they're not going to go by pounds anymore. It's not going to affect people unless they're selling larger boxes or shipments.
Right, they're going by measurement? How are they doing it?
By measurement. So depending on the measurement of the box. So you could, pounds has nothing to do with it. So essentially you could have something that you could ship in a smaller package for, let's say, $6. But if it was in a larger package, it could cost you $52 to ship the same weight.
Oh, so weight just won't even matter anymore.
I
guess that makes sense because really, what is the limiting factor in how many boxes you can put in a truck?
Unless you have bags like this where you're selling like a shirt or a piece of clothing, then it's not going to matter. It's the same stuff. But if you're selling in a shoebox, right? Then it's gonna matter. It's gonna matter on the measurements.
Yeah. If you can save a couple inches, then
you'll
charge less.
It's going to be a huge difference. And then obviously also they're still trying to integrate. They'll be getting rid of PayPal completely. So I think that probably there's only about 30% of sellers that are transitioned to that new pay system.
Yeah.
But their goal as of 2020, everybody will be okay.
They don't want to get rid of PayPal. They will still provide PayPal as an option.
No, not at all.
Not at all?
Cut out. Click.
Huh.
Done. In fact, it was really funny. It was I was listening to a guy last night. He's like, yeah, I was in a bed and I was trying to buy something on eBay, and I didn't realize it until I got to the seller's, deal that he doesn't accept PayPal. They only accepts this new payment processing that eBay's using. But no, right. But as of 2020, no, they're not. They have not. No, it's done. Every seller, every whatever will transition to that new PayPal. And they'll do it would be cool because they'll do everything on the site.
Yeah.
So you're not going
You
else.
don't have to log into PayPal. Yeah, you could just put in your credit card information.
Exactly. So PayPal will obviously still exist because people that use Shopify and other websites use PayPal. But as far as eBay, oh no, it's a done deal. It's done. It's gone. Bye. So,
nice. That makes it super easy for me to get back into eBay if I ever want to.
Right. So
pick a different address. Just be like, oh, I'm Jack Pitman. Not that Jack Pitman, though. I'm different than him. That's not me.
This is a different Jack Pitman. But, so a lot of people, they haven't rolled it out completely, like right as of now, but they will change it. As of now, you cannot do global shipping on the new
on Aiden,
payment system. But they are changing that evidently. And then there was some talk about where you would actually, almost like Amazon, where eBay would only pay you every 2 weeks. So you would have to they would hold your money for 2 weeks, and then just like Amazon does.
And they're trying so hard to be just like Amazon. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
What's up?
That's Ethan.
You have ears?
Yeah, there's a little one too. Hello, little one. Oh,
hello, Ken's family.
He has like 6 kids.
6?
No, I have 8, dude.
Catholic. 8? That's higher than I can count. I'll try anything past 7.
So you just want to bust my balls. Shouldn't you be drinking or something right now?
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't be like.
Jeez. It's Friday at like 1 p.m. What are you doing?
Yeah. That sounds.
Every time I talk to Jamie, I watch the level of the wax in the candle behind him. It's almost out. I remember when it started.
Good times those were. Good times. I also have a sick guppy back there now.
A sick guppy?
It's sick guppy. Yeah.
What makes it sick? And how come the water in the tank is like 2/3 of the way? Is that on purpose?
The whole tank has to be treated for the infection, which involves taking out a bunch of the water and putting it back in. This is not why your viewers are here. I'm going to stop talking about my fish.
So what do you do, Jane?
Me, I'm a programmer. I thought that was a much simpler explanation Jack provided. I work for a software company that gets data, and then we use the data to automate processes. So we're automating the drop shipping process at the moment. Pardon?
That's cool. I was busting someone's chops yesterday because they created a drop shipping program, and I'm like, so I said, are fucking people really actually still buying drop shipping programs?
I know, there's so many. I think the majority of the drop shippers make more money making the courses. I just don't know what's going to turn out too well. Oh, jeez. You do realize you're going to get all of his comments removed? YouTube's new policy.
Right. Wait, what happened? I missed something here. I disconnected for a moment there.
Oh, well, after we'd been finished slagging off drop shippers doing the courses, which you admittedly stated, and it's very true. Educators in any industry sector typically will make more than doing the practical task itself. Unless you're a programmer. Teaching courses about programming does not make you as much money as programming. Unless you're really good at
I mean, if you think about how much people put into getting a programming degree.
Like if you look at some of the
money.
you look at some of the courses that are still around. So if you look at David Vu's course, how much money do you think he's made the life of that course?
He has a lot of students.
But he's then in the same vicinity of being able to do business models. Like the thing is, with programming, you have the option to directly like sell yourself to it. Like compared to someone just working for a company doing programming or making videos, yeah, all right. But programming is one of those things that you don't have to just work for a specific set company. That's just locking yourself in.
Right. So Jack, who do you think has made the most money off of their drop shipping course?
Probably whoever sells $1,000 courses. Maybe Andre, actually. Andre
dude.
Craigberg, or whatever his name is.
Is that the glasses guy?
Uh,
2 cars behind him. Oh wait, that's all of them.
yeah.
It's like the chubby dude. He's always making a video like in a swimming pool.
Yeah,
Or-
yeah, that's him.
Up in his life for like the first 5 minutes and goes, "Bro, you gotta get on to what's happening. You just aren't with the times, man."
Man, you sound like Jamie Oliver right now. Oh my god, your name's Jamie!
It is Jamie. It is. It's both the boys and a girl's name, but I only know.
Blew my
Engine.
mind.
Sure.
My initials are JC. It's even more interesting. Share with our savior.
Alright guys, I think I'm gonna head out. I'm getting a bit tired. I want to do other stuff. Stop sitting at my computer. Anything anyone wants to cover before?
Can I just ask him 2 other questions here?
Yeah.
You can give information about what you do for your businesses. How much time would you spend proportionally, like on your cleaning versus your eBay stuff? Just out of curiosity.
So the funny thing about it, so on the cleaning portion, I do absolutely not shit. I just collect money.
Right. Nice.
So I
Very
collect,
passive, right?
I collect cash and checks, and I do some marketing. So all of our marketing is pretty much 90% of it's done through Facebook. So my messenger goes off all day. Hi, we were referred by this person. Hi, we're moving. We need to clean, and we need this. So all day the messenger goes off. Unless it's a referral, we do have some Google and some Yelp action going on too. So we get actual phone calls. So, but if the phone's not ringing or if I'm not answering the messenger, I'm literally just monitoring some employees. And for our day today, like this is Friday, it's a full day, 5 o'clock. Saturday, it's a full day. Sunday's an even fuller day. So yeah, I just monitor, get those guys started, wrap up the day around 5 o'clock when that happens, but mainly just go back and forth to the bank, and that's all I do with that. As far as the eBay business is less profitable than the cleaning business, but I probably spend more time with the eBay business just because I have to do more stuff. I have to source, I have to list, I have to ship, I have to do a lot of other things that require more time. But the cleaning business, no. I mean, but if you would say, now if I was actually working in cleaning, then, of course, the cleaning businesses, it would take 7 days a week, 8 hours, 6 hours a day, depending on the day, sometimes 12 hours. But the cleaning business is a little more difficult to streamline, only because the people that you are cleaning are very used to you. And so if you come, like if I take my wife completely out of the field, for example, and some of these people have been used to her cleaning their house for 3 years, then you put Barbara in there or put somebody else in there, then they're like, well, who the hell's this bitch? She doesn't do the job that you do or whatever. So so it's a little bit of a different strategy. The eBay thing, depending on what you're doing, obviously if you're doing drop shipping, that's a whole different avenue. Are you doing retail arbitrage drop shipping, or you have a legit wholesaler that you're utilizing? Which eBay certainly doesn't have a problem with you if you have used a wholesaler and you have invoices and stuff of that nature. They just have a problem with retail arbitrage drop shippers.
Mm-hmm.
So, but obviously the wholesale is not as profitable as the resale is.
Okay.
So
I have a question.
Welcome, Zach. The meeting is ending very soon. No warning.
Can I while I'm in Somalia?
Yes, I heard Somalia mentioned.
you're asking, can you do that when you're in Somalia?
Exactly.
I don't, probably not the physical product, what I do, but the drop shipping you probably could do. We can get some more clarification. Zach is asking, could he do drop shipping from Somalia?
Yeah, you can do drop shipping from any country in the world. It's harder for some reasons and easier for others.
Right. So to answer your question, Zach, you could most definitely do drop shipping from Somalia. You just couldn't do physical products.
Yeah.
Okay.
And technically you could even do like Amazon FBA. You can technically you can do anything from anywhere in the world. It's just a matter of paying the right services to do the things that you can't do because of your location.
It is
Right.
available. I can get a MasterCard and Visa card.
Yeah, through Payoneer.
Yeah.
You need some really effective retail arbitrage on a ship there.
Oh my God.
But no, that's funny. But no, and whatever. That's a totally different conversation because obviously my thing is that obviously the major of the income from drop shipping is coming from the back end anyway. It's not coming from the sale of the product.
It's true.
I have knowledge how to make Facebook marketing, how to create ads, how to target different people with different gender, income, different location, different radius.
That's much more useful for Shopify drop shipping than it is for eBay.
Mhm.
Shopify.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shopify, and then obviously the big difference between those is eBay and Amazon or whatever already has that existing traffic, and Shopify obviously you're going to have to create and drive your own traffic.
Traffic.
So I mean,
Okay,
SEO, if you're an SEO expert, that's a good thing to be because obviously you would have a successful Shopify store once you test the product to make sure that product was obviously selling consistently.
Just out of curiosity, Kent, did you have curly hair before? Is that why your son has it? Just it's curly hair.
Yes.
Before what?
And the thing about him is, what's funny is he's in the 6th grade, and all the high school chicks go for him.
Yeah, it works with anything. You know, it works with a suit and it works with casual. So
right.
it's really annoying when you're young because all the older women just start ruffling your hair all the time. All my teachers, it was horrible. Then I became a greasy teenager and it was all solved, thankfully. That was amazing. So Zach, what is there any other details you wanted on the Somalian dropshipping? Sounds like a weird sentence.
Sorry.
Is there any other questions you had about dropshipping? Is what Jamie was asking.
So I will make research on the internet for further detail. But the only thing that I am very useful that I have today that I buy digital artists and I can resell it. That idea sounds very cool.
Yeah, so it's not always that simple, but that's the basic premise of it. Just like anything else, like it's competitive. There's a lot of people doing it just because, you know, it's easy to do. But here is a YouTube channel I recommend you to check out, Zach. So this is a YouTuber called Gabriel St. German, and he does content about Shopify. And especially because you're based overseas and Somalia, and 2, you have experience with Facebook marketing. This puts you in a position where Shopify is probably your best option for dropshipping. Because you don't have to deal with, like, if you were to try and dropship on eBay, you would have trouble getting the account to run without having problems, because eBay really easily bans foreign IPs. So you can work around this by purchasing stealth accounts and growing stealth accounts, but it's pretty complicated and really easy to mess up. So considering your experience, I encourage you to do research about Shopify. However, understand that a lot of people make a Shopify website and then they put $100 into to ads, and then maybe they get like $90 worth of sales. You can't just expect it to be as easy as just making a website.
Okay.
You're going to need to really learn a lot about it.
Shopify, you said it is related to Facebook ad. So if I target some people, if they order some product, who will ship to them? Who will make the logistics and some other stuff?
You will have some kind of service set up to accomplish this. So you could sell items from AliExpress. You could use a print-on-demand service so that you are selling T-shirts or mugs or these kind of things. Sourcing-wise, you could use any service online, whether you're drop shipping on eBay or Amazon or Shopify. Technically, you could source it from any the same source for any of these strategies.
Okay, so can I use Alibaba for Chinese suppliers.
Yeah, you can do that for Shopify. But it's a bit tricky. Like with Shopify, it's really about creating a store that it doesn't only have products that people want, but it's also fun and easy to interact with the store and targeting that niche of people who were interested. So most Shopify stores aren't just big stores with a bunch of products. They're small stores, maybe with like between like 10 and 100 products, all related to one specific niche. Like you may
Okay,
have a
so,
store that's all perfume or all golf or all swimming stuff, this kind of thing.
Two more question. So can you estimate how much money can I start that on Shopify store?
I
How
can't
much cost?
I can't give you a, if any metric I make would just be making something up, unfortunately.
This is really going to depend on how much you're going to buy traffic and how much traffic you're going to buy.
Yeah.
You like
So
Jack said, you could spend $100, or there's people that spend $1 million on traffic a year.
So I don't mean the cost of the Facebook ad. I know that, but is there any other cost?
Oh,
do I
wow.
consider?
So for the Shopify site itself, there is premium packages and stuff like that. You might need to get you need a domain just to clean up your website a bit. Those can be very cheap. Like you can get your first year of them for like $10, $20 kind of thing. As for the Shopify premium and stuff, it's not essential. But you could get it if you desire it. It's mainly the templates that you're buying there, which you can access by other means. Any template that you can find on Shopify, you can get another access to it. So the Shopify itself is very low end. Like we're talking under 100 to set up the store and stuff and everything. Really, it's
Okay.
the marketing, that's your expense entirely. Basically, the actual store setup. It's easy and cheap.
Okay. So do I have to buy the product for myself,
No.
like the normal stores?
The normal what, sorry?
So the product, I am just assuming that the product in the Shopify store belongs to other companies like AliExpress, or do I have to belong with that product?
No. Like you could have your own product and have a Shopify store where you're selling it, or you could just be reselling another product. You don't have to create your own. It's definitely more profitable to create your own product because no one else is selling it. You don't have any competition in that sense, or at least way less competition than selling like a popular item from Amazon or Walmart or AliExpress. But technically you don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not a compulsory that I own the product.
No, it's not necessary.
Okay, that's good. So if I spend $1,000 per month for Facebook ad, is there anyone who can imagine the revenue that I can make?
There's not enough information to. So like you could spend $1,000 and earn nothing.
Or $1 million.
Yeah, like
very likely you'll earn $1 million.
It completely depends what kind of products you're selling, how many other people are selling them, how unique are your products, how organized are your products. There's a lot of variables. You can't just think of it as simple as if I pay $10 for ads, I'm going to get $10 in sales. Unfortunately, it's not that simple.
No, because it's very important. You're going to have to test each product. And the testing process is probably going to be what's going to take you the longest. And you're testing, looking for a winner. Once you find a winner, then ding, there you go. But you could be testing products for months until you find something that's going to sell consistently, like you want it to sell.
Okay.
And anytime you're doing advertising, it's really important to run these test batches like what Ken's talking about. You don't just dump money into ads until you have proven to yourself that they're profitable. So usually you would run ad campaigns for pennies, Like, not trying to get a bunch of traffic, just trying to see if they convert at all. Because before you spend $1,000 a month on an ad, you got to spend 10 cents a day on an ad. So like $3-4 a month. And if it works, if you earn more than $3 or $4 from the sales, then okay, maybe you can spend $100 a month or maybe more. But it would be really dumb to just drop $1,000 on an ad that you haven't done any testing before. You're most likely just going to lose $1,000.
Okay, so before I do anything, I have to test.
Yes,
Yes,
and
test.
test with very small increments.
Is
Like,
there anyone who make Shopify store in this conversation?
I don't. Jamie has actually, yeah.
Yes, I have set up a Shopify. What do you wish to know?
Like a genie.
So,
Freaking genie.
is there a competitive advantage? For example, if I join this year, and the one who joined it maybe 2 years ago, so is there any advantage that they gain in the one who comes earlier, other than the one is who will join later?
So on a technical level, potentially, if the new person comes in with some new like SEO, so search engine optimization for their Shopify, there would be an advantage. But reality is everything that matters to Google, to traffic, is about the memory people have of that existence. You need to be aware and they need to have knowledge of you. So if you're new, people don't know you exist yet. So there's no value in you.
Okay.
And thus no distinct advantage provided to a new Shopify versus one that's already known.
Okay. So can I know how much you spend on?
We
Facebook
personally, so we have a process where it's like I could have set up the Shopify, which it would have cost us just with my time, whatever. But we only ever get the people that are the best in their fields to manage things. So we had an artist come in and do our Shopify, and that set us back about 500. If we didn't have that, nothing else was added on, or we didn't need to get branding, we could have done it for less than 100. That's including purchasing a template that will get sales to you. So one of the ones, or the one that we use, is called, it was 2 months ago, plus I set up. I don't really care too much about it. I think it's Speed Up or Booster theme. That's a very useful one, very common. A bit too manipulative in certain ways because it shows false information for sold accounts and stuff like that to people, but it is very good at getting sales. So if you wanted to buy that, that'd be a higher initial fee, but you could do it all for very little, under 50. It really tried. Domain and everything.
There's also ways that in the beginning, so once you know what you're doing, it's usually more effective to pay for advertising than to do things manually. But in the beginning, when you're working with a store, there are ways for you to do advertising for free. And the basic premise of that is that you have a product that fixes some problem, okay? And you sell it on this Shopify website. And then what you do is you have to look on the internet and find people who have this problem that your product fixes or alleviates. So imagine a scenario where you have something that is an exercise tool, right? This is a bad example. It's just to prove the concept to you. So your product could be used to help people lose weight or be more fit, right? So if you had your Shopify website set up and everything, then what you would do is you would identify forums and places online where there are these people interested in being more fit or losing weight. And you would answer their questions in a useful, informative way with also having your product link. So then these people go and they are already in the niche related to your product, so they're more likely to be interested. And then if you are useful to them, or you inspire them, or you make some kind of emotional connection, then they are more likely to follow through and interact with your link. So don't think that you can only pay for marketing. There are ways for you to do marketing for free. It's just really time intensive. Like in that situation, you would need to be browsing forums, reading online for like 2 hours every day, and just posting. And after you do that for a couple months, you have a lot of posts leading to your store. This will show up in SEO and Google searches. So.
Right. So you're gonna put sweat equity or cash, one of the two.
Blood as well. Sweat or blood, whatever works. If you're in America, you can literally sell your blood, so that can get you the equity to make the business. So no sweat needed. Just your vital, essential blood. Zach, and if you're not willing to put that in, you might as well not start a business. No, Zach.
All right, guys, I'm going to end the live stream, and then I'm going to do stuff, but I'm going to keep the Zoom room up if you guys want to talk or anything. Okay?
No, I got to run. I got to go get some money. So it was awesome seeing you guys, and you have a great day. Try to enjoy the weather.
So before you leave, guys,